gentlemen, we call your attention to the game administrators meeting that is being held on the court. The meeting includes a representative from the TMSAA, the game administrator, the two head coaches, the official, and a representative of the security team. Each is reviewing their responsibility in this semifinal game.
Right now, but I haven't connected to radio yet. That's
Hello again, everybody. David Clary, James Branson here at Blackman Middle School, getting set for our second ball game of the night. The Robertsville Rams taking on Bellevue here at Blackman Middle School in the state tournament, the Final Four. If you're just now tuning us in, whether on YouTube or on prepradio.com or Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15, earlier today we saw the Lady Rams knock off Lawrence, the Lions, by a final score of 50-10. So Robertsville, the Lady Rams, will be playing in the state championship ball game tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. As I see in the house here, Coach Dan Stevens here to watch the ball game.
It's funny, David, that you mentioned that, because on the way down here, you're like, I wonder if Coach Stevens will show up just down the road here from, I believe, still at Laverne High School. So really cool that he gets to come back and support his community, even though he's several hours away.
Well, let's talk about this ball game. The two teams are warming up here, looking at the Bolivar team that just was defeated by Fairview. So Fairview's boys are in the state championship ball game, and they'll be taking on the winner winner of this game, either Robertsville or Bellevue. Both teams have had outstanding seasons, so they wouldn't have gotten to this point in their season. One win away from a state championship. I tell you, whoever wins this ball game, they're going to be in for it in terms of crowd size. Fairview, I think everyone in Fairview was here tonight supporting their basketball team, and that is one good basketball team we saw play right before this one.
Yeah, David, and as the gym and excitement in the gym and the level and the intensity in the gym was just outstanding. Fairview just on the other side of Nashville. The Fairview High School is what Fairview Middle School feeds, and so it's a really short drive for them, probably 30, 40 minutes, and obviously they brought a big crowd that had signs all over the place, and it'll be really interesting to see the type of crowd that the winner of this game will face.
We are on prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. We're also streaming live on the internet at YouTube at Prep Radio. We're about a minute and 20 seconds away from the tip-off of this middle school ball game, Robertsville, Bellevue. Hopefully our streaming will work all the way through the course of the ball game. So far, so good, and so far, so good on the radio as well. So stay with us here. It's a late night, I know, back at Oak Ridge, but hopefully the Rams will come away with a victory, and we'll have two teams in the state championship ball games tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all you could hope for, and the best case scenario for us as well is we're at Stewart's Creek High School tomorrow for several hours, getting to see the Rams and Lady Rams play for a state championship. That'd be a great opportunity for both teams.
We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll have the tip-off of tonight's basketball game, Robertsville versus Bellevue. We'll be back to Blackman Middle School in a moment.
Basketball State Championship. The Tennessee Middle School Athletic Association reminds you of sportsmanship and the objectives of educational.
Welcome back to Blackman Middle School. Just moments away from this basketball game between the Robertsville Rams and Bellevue, and their mascot.
I believe they are the Wildcats or some type of cat.
Well, that's all we've seen. Earlier we saw the Lions in their game. We saw some others, but apologize for that. They are wearing their all predominantly white jerseys with blue and orange trim. The Robertsville Rams will be wearing their red jerseys with white trim. And the starting lineups are about to be introduced out on the floor. My name is David Clary, along with James Branson here, broadcasting from middle school up in the top row of the bleachers. It's not as if I haven't broadcast in the bleachers before, but the difference is it is packed in here. I mean, there is no room to move around at all.
No, and that's a credit to all these communities that came out to support their teams. As the starting lineups for the Rams are being introduced, Brennan Scott, Javian Elam, Jaquez Thomas, Bryce Davis, and Brandon Hayward. As we have the Bobcats, is number 0, Julius Thadford. Number 2, Damian Cox for the Bobcats. Number 10, Kavion Benton. Number 22, Kylan Payne. And number 23, Jaden Batchelor.
And we're about to get underway. John Spratling is the head coach of the Robertsville Rams. They got a size advantage inside with the big guy, number 22. He is a giant. Payne is, as I look at him on the floor. And we're about to get underway here from Blackman Middle School. To jump for the Robertsville Rams will be number 11. That'll be Javian Elam. And we're about to get underway. Thanks for tuning us in on the radio or on YouTube right now, streaming live at Prep Radio. A little bit of a height advantage here. To jump for them, as I mentioned, will be Payne against Elam. And we're about to have basketball once again from Blackman Middle School. The officials are set. The ball is about to be up in the air and is taken away by Bellevue. And we are underway. With the basketball will come number 23. That'll be Batchelor. He works the ball against the Rams number 10. That'll be Brennan Scott. He works the ball to the right side, fires a pass out to the right wing, over it goes to Cox. Cox arrests, outside comes cross court with a high pass, saved on the floor by Batchelor. Batchelor guarded by Scott, and then a personal foul is going to be called against Robertsville. It's going to go against Brennan Scott, 8th grader, son of the assistant head coach of the Oak Ridge boys basketball team, Ronnie Scott. That's the first foul called in the ballgame.
Yeah, David, I think you and I had talked before. Brennan Scott has a very similar shot to Ronnie, and he's taught very well by his father.
Here they come down the floor. They get a little shot off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Robertsville. Pulled down on the board by Jaquez Thomas. Thomas brings it up across the line. Gives it off in the corner to Scott. Brennan works the ball top of the circle. Back it goes once again to Thomas. Jaquez Thomas around a screen. Comes back to his left. Slings it off in the corner. Works the ball down low. Robertsville goes in for the shot, and they score. Off the glass goes Jaden Elam, and it's 2-0. Robertsville. 5:07 to play in the first quarter, and down the floor once again will come Bellevue. They're moving right to left. Looking over at their head coach. They walk the ball across the line. Here it goes to Jaden Batchelor. Got it out by Brennan Scott. At the midcourt circle, he backs it up. 2-0 Robertsville, just underway. First quarter action here in the state tournament of middle school basketball. Here's a shot, good. Foul called against Robertsville. They have an opportunity for a three-point play.
Yeah, David, just a little teardrop shot there by number 2 for them, which is Damian Cox. Really nice job by them, because Javen Elam was going up and just right over the tip of his fingers.
And he'll go to the free throw line, tied at 2. 4 minutes, 47 seconds to play first quarter. Here's the toss. It's on its way. Good. Bellevue leads Robertsville 3-2. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Rams. Moving left to right as we broadcast here from the bleachers. As the ball is deflected out of bounds. I thought last touch by Bellevue, but obviously Robertsville slung it out. Give us a little scouting report on these guys for Robertsville.
Well, the starters that you have, you got Javian Elam. He's a pretty tall guy, very 7th grader, very lengthy. You got Brennan Scott, obviously probably the shooter of the team, as we have a three-point shot up here by Cox, no good. Out of bounds will be Bellevue ball. You also have Price Davis. He's a little bit more of a shifty guard, able to disperse it. And Brandon Hayward, probably the best looking athlete on the court right now, just because of his length and his size and how he can get to the basket so easily. And I left off Jaquez Thomas. Jaquez, obviously very good because of his brother. Some of you may remember Javante Thomas. And so he learned a lot of his traits from Javante, obviously.
Foul's going to be called against Robertsville. It's going to go against number 11 once again. That's going to go against Javian Elam. That's his second foul. 3-2, Bellevue on top. Free throw line, shot is up, a little bit strong. He'll have another one down in the act of shooting. Robertsville fans weren't too happy about that foul. I know you were doing your scouting report. It was a real late whistle after the block shot. He'll go back to the free throw line, though. 3-2 our score. Back to the line will go Kylan Payne. Payne will go to the line one more time. 3-2 Bellevue, leading the Rams. This game, the pace of it's not quite like the girls' game, as that free throw's up good. 4-2 our score, and down the floor with the basketball will come Robertsville facing full court pressure. With the basketball will come Thomas. Works it across the way. Here it goes to Hayward. Hayward kicks the ball right side. Out for a three. It's on its way. It's on target. In and out. No good. Rebound, Bellevue. Missed that time by the Rams. They push it up the floor with the basketball. Number 2 drives the paint. Kicks the ball back out once again to Payne. Payne swings it to the corner for a three. It's good. 3-point shot made by Julius Thetford. And down the floor with the basketball will come the Rams. Trailing by 5. 7-2 the score. With the basketball once again will come Scott in the paint. Pulls up and shoots and scores. Brennan Scott drops it in, and it's a 7-4 ball game.
Nice little move in there to get inside the lane. A little hesitation to put it up, and good, very easy little touch shot for Brennan Scott.
Bellevue with the basketball. We're down to 3:38 to play in the first quarter in a 7-4 ball game. They set their offense to the right. They've got a three if they want it. They won't take the shot. They swing it to the right. They have a definite height advantage as they work in for a shot, partially rejected, but it goes in good. Bellevue scores again, and the Rams trail by a score of 9-4. With the basketball once again will come the Rams. They work it down the floor. They work the ball underneath for a shot. Here comes Hayward off the glass shot. No good. Didn't even use the glass, actually. And it's Bellevue coming down the other way. Bellevue drives to the free throw line, drives past it, and works the ball outside the three-point line. 3:04 to play first quarter. Bellevue drives. They work the ball inside for a shot. Good. Robertsville trails by a score of 11-4. 2 minutes, 56 seconds to play. With the basketball will come the Rams. With it will come Brennan Scott. Scott outside the three-point line, works the ball to Thomas. Thomas around to the left side. It goes to Hayward. Hayward makes the move, drives in, pulls up, shoots, good. Hayward takes it in just inside the paint, and it's 11-6.
Really nice job there by Hayward as Bellevue has another shot coming up off the glass and is rebounded by Jacoby Blavelt.
Personal foul is going to be called against Bellevue. 2 minutes, 29 seconds to play in the first quarter. 11-6 is our score. And the Rams are trailing. 2:29 to play as both teams substituting here in the first quarter.
Yeah, as Jacoby Blavelt has to come in for the Rams. Javian Elam goes out early. Jacoby Blavelt, pretty good defender for the Rams.
They work the ball in, and then that's got to be a foul. Personal foul is going to be called against Bellevue. It's going to go against Thetford, and that'll be his first personal foul. Team foul number 2 called against Bellevue. It'll be Robertsville basketball side court. To work the ball in will be Brennan Scott. The Rams trail it by a score of 11-6 as the ball is worked in. And it comes to number 23 for them. That'll be
Jacoby Blavelt.
And he works the ball in the right corner, nearly lost it and did. Take it on the floor once again by Bellevue. 11-6 our score. Well, they work it outside the three-point line. They penetrate the paint. Almost a double dribble. Do they get a shot up? Good. Bellevue scores. They're very athletic. They're very quick, and they've got some height.
Yeah, and it's a very hectic pace, and their press is pretty good, but Brennan Scott able to break their press here. Shot up no good, and it's rebounded by Bellevue.
Down the floor with the basketball once again they come. Muhammad works the ball down low, pass intercepted. Taken away by Hayward. Hayward in the rear court. Shakes, bakes, needs some help, gives it out to Thomas. Thomas works the ball once again. They're going to drive the baseline, go in for the shot. No good. Got to rebound a little bit better. Here comes Bellevue down the floor. 13-6 to score. Here's a finger roll layup. Good. He got up. He could have dunked that ball.
He could have dunked that ball, but it's just a nice little touch off the glass there. Easy to get it in just over Brandon Hayward's fingertips.
Once again, it goes to Brennan Scott in the left corner. He walks for the basketball. 15-6, Bellevue on top of the Robertsville Rams here in the boys game. 1:23 to play in the first period. It'll be Bellevue coming down the floor. They're wearing white jerseys with orange and blue trim. Robertsville wearing their all red jerseys, black and white trim. The numerals are in white. With the basketball will come Bellevue. 1:15 to play first quarter. 15-6 is our score. Broadcasting from the top row of the bleachers here at Blackman Middle School. Little 15-footer in and out, no good. Rebound will go to Scott. Scott throws it away. Got to be picked off by Bellevue. Tried to get it all the way up the floor. Could not do it. Here comes the charge. No, they're going to get the shot off. It's no good. Rebounded by Hayward. Hayward across the midcourt line. Hayward's going to take it to the coast. Off the right block. Shot good. Hayward off the glass, and it's 15-8. Down the floor with the basketball will come Bellevue. Driving right side. They've got a wide open three. It's on its way. It's good. Three-point shot by Muhammad, and it's 18-8, a 10-point game. Brennan Scott with the basketball all the way down the floor. He reverse layup, no good. Right back up, no good. Again, pulled down by Bellevue. 28 seconds to play, and then a reach-in foul is going to be called against Robertsville's number 21, Price Davis. 18-8 the score, a fast-paced first quarter. You can tell Bellevue likes to go get it up and down the floor.
Yeah, David, is they're rebounding well, and they're able to get the ball up court very quickly. Robertsville not able to get exactly set in their defense before Bellevue's ready to take a shot. As frantic pace, very similar to what we saw in the first game between the Lady Rams earlier.
Bellevue with the basketball. They work it out. Once again, down to 22 seconds to play. They drive the baseline. Pretty good defense by Robertsville. Here it goes Muhammad. Muhammad comes cross court. They've got a three. They shoot a three. They knock it down. Three-point shot. Not only are they athletic, they can shoot. 21-8 the score. 8 seconds to play. Thomas with the basketball, works it across the way, sets it out to the corner. Hayward will drive. 1 second, it could not take the shot, didn't want to take the shot, didn't realize how much time is left on the clock, and the quarter expires with the Rams trailing 21-8.
Yeah, David, as it's just a real hectic pace. Robertsville needs to settle down, get within their offense, and be ready to play, and not let their nerves get to them, not get out of their comfort zone, and which is very hard to do.
I think a lady wants to talk. Well, Lady Stewart on the air tonight with us.
Very glad she's here and supporting us. And I think we talked about this earlier. Imagine just all the tournament games that she's seen. Talking about Kiki coming down here and playing in the tournament at MTSU. T getting to do the same thing for the boys team, for the Wildcats. Getting to go to the national championship and conference championship games with T. And then obviously getting to come down here and watch Zayana play is a really cool thing for her to get to witness all of that.
I think this is a game that Robertsville can win, but they've got to be patient. The Bellevue team is speeding them up big time, and they've turned the ball over a great deal. Their length is really hurting Robertsville right now, too.
It is, and one thing that's been very effective for Robertsville is Brandon Hayward getting to the rim. That's their best opportunity, as we have a foul called here.
Yeah, it's going to go against number 23, Jaden Batchelor. Away from the ball, they tried to inbound it, and he was able to get to it, but he made a little bit too much contact. One thing that I have noticed, comparing this game to the Lady Rams game earlier, they are calling the boys' games much, much tighter than they did in the girls' game.
It could probably get out of hand a little bit more physically than the girls' games, but one thing I noticed about Bellevue seems to substitute a lot defensively throughout the game.
Hayward with the basketball, lost it, grabbed it on the floor once again, lost it again, saved again by Robertsville, and they'll set it up once again. He works the ball left side at Thomas. Thomas thought about driving in, dribbles in, top of the circle. Now gives it out once again, and driving with it will come Watson. He lost the ball. Taken on the floor by Bellevue. Here comes Hayward behind him, tries to steal the ball away from him. They are really quick. They're really good ball handlers. They've got a wide open three. They also can shoot. That one's no good. Rebounded again by Bellevue. 28 our score. They get another easy layup. Bunny off the glass, and it's 23-8. Down the floor, that guy's got four, and it's 23-8. Down the floor once again, Robertsville. Robertsville drives in, floating a little 6-footer. Is up, no good. Rebound, it's one and done. Hayward had it, taken away by Bellevue, and then they throw the ball away. It'll be Robertsville with it. 23-8, the speed of the game. Although I know Robertsville likes to play at this pace is even too much for them right now, I think.
It is, and Bellevue actually plays pretty good half-court defense. It looks like they're out in a 3-2 zone, trying to stay up top and hedge out on anything coming inside.
The basketball will come Hayward. He drives in, penetrates the paint. Nice move. Goes in for the shot off the glass. No good, but he does draw the foul. 4 minutes, 55 seconds to play. We're in the second quarter with Robertsville trailing 23-8. Earlier today, the Lady Rams won 50-10 in their ball game, and they're playing in the state championship.
Yeah, it's congratulations to them. All their hard work throughout the season has paid off, and love to see the success they're having along with Coach Scott.
It'll be Hayward back to the free throw line. 23-8 our score. Tosses up, no good. Down the floor will come Bellevue. Bellevue works it across the line. They'll drive the baseline, turning, spinning, and nearly a steal. They still get the shot off, no good. Tip back up, good. They score. The height is really hurting, and Oak Ridge, or Robertsville that is, just can't get things done inside, and there's a foul going to be called. 4:37 to play. So far it's been all Bellevue. They lead it 25-8 to this stage in the ball game.
Yeah, David, as just watching the previous game before, watching Fairview and Bolivar, Bellevue I think has the best length and height out of any of the teams that are here currently, and that's got to be a challenge that is altering Robertsville's game plan.
Here comes Robertsville down the floor, moving left to right. Dribbling the ball across the line, we go Jaquan Watson. Watson backs up, 5-second count is on. He's got to get rid of it. He lost the ball. It goes out of bounds, though. Last touch by Bellevue. Got to be careful. They had the 5-second count. Robertsville's got to do a little talking down there because he was about to get called for 5 seconds.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're communicating and setting up your play and passing. As Jacoby Boulevard out for 3-point off the glass, no good. Price Davis up and good.
And they've got 10, and it's a 15-point Bellevue lead. 25-10 to score. 4:13 to play in the second quarter. With the basketball, here's a three-point shot. No good. Boy, they crash the boards hard. I mean, they go up and get anything off the glass.
Yeah, every time there's 3 or 4 people going up the glass, and then they kick it out for a potential three-pointer as well.
Here comes a shot from the baseline and a foul called against Robertsville. Jacoby
Blavelt
commits the personal foul. I don't know why I can't get that one. I watched him play over the last week, and good-looking player. He plays hard on defense for sure, and can shoot the ball from outside as well.
Yeah, David, he's probably football-wise, he's probably one of the best safeties I've ever coached because he just understands how to play defense. He understands how to tackle, get in your face, and he's relentless, very much like we talked about the girls earlier.
He's going to come out of the ballgame right now. They'll substitute back in the ballgame Javian Elam to the free throw line once again. 26-10, Bellevue leads Robertsville. At the line, Thetford. Shot missed. Rebound to Hayward. Hayward's going to bring the ball down the floor. 26-10 our score, and a foul in the rear court. That'll be the 16th foul called against Bellevue. They've got a lot of players. Robertsville's dressed out quite a few here, but they don't play as many. At least in the early going, they haven't played as many. Right now they match up and they trail. Robertsville does 26-10. 3:49 to play, second quarter. Down the floor with the basketball once again. Across the time stripe will come Jaquez Thomas. Lost his dribble, grabs it, needs some help, gives it off on the left side of Elam. Elam looks cross court. The pass goes over to Watson. Watson back to the top of the circle and goes to 21 Price Davis. Price dribbling in a lot of trouble, picks up his dribble, now attacks to the free throw line, pulls up and shoots from there, and no good. Good looking shot, just wouldn't fall for him.
Yeah, really nice job to kind of probe around until he got what he wanted, got to the free throw line and able to get up his shot, just no good.
Bellevue on top 26-10. With the basketball once again will come Bellevue. They'll drive, penetrate all the way in the paint, throw it inside to the big guy. Has his shot blocked by Hayward, but they have the rebound once again. Here goes Derek Miller, top of the circle, picked up defensively by Robertsville's Jaquan Watson. He works the ball to the baseline, and then that's going to be a travel. Really, really good defense that time by Jaquez Thomas. Reached in, was going to either tie him up, but he forced him to walk. It'll be Robertsville ball.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there also by Raekwon Watson, forcing the pass, and then eventually the turnover there caused by Jaquez Thomas because they kind of trapped him and he didn't really have anywhere to go, the guy from Bellevue.
Trying to set a trap right now. They skip it across the line. Here it goes to Watson. Watson drives to the paint, goes in for the layup. No good. Tipped and rebounded out of bounds. Last touch, I thought, by Hayward. And let's see who they give the ball to. Looked like Hayward actually touched it last, but it'll be Robertsville ball underneath the goal. 2:40 to play, second quarter, 26-10. Bellevue on top. Bounce pass comes in. Elam drives in, penetrates, three-footer. He might have been fouled. No good. Rebound to Elam. Goes right back up with it and scores. Robertsville, Javian Elam drops in his fourth point, and it's 26-12. Down the floor with the basketball once again will come the Bellevue team. They work the ball at the midcourt line. The Rams will stay back in a zone. Here it goes to Muhammad. Muhammad at the free throw line. Kicks the ball left side. Tedford works the ball outside. Picks just up a screen. Drives the paint. Kicks it in the corner. Out to the top. They drive. Pull up. Shoot. Go inside. Strip to the ball. Saved on the floor. Nearly a foul by Elam. Here's a shot blocked by Hayward. They get the shot right back up and score. Bellevue puts it in, and it's 28-12. Down the floor once again will come Robertsville. Boy, they had Hayward early. Couldn't get the ball to him. Then the ball's knocked out of bounds. Got to be a little quicker. Price Davis had Hayward cutting in. If he gives it to him, it's a layup.
Yeah, and just swarming defense by Bellevue as we have a three-pointer here by Raekwon Watson. Up and good.
Boy, they needed that big time. It's back to a 13-point game. 28-15. Robertsville trails. Minute 38 to play. We're in the second quarter here at Blackman Middle School. Here's a shot missed. Rebounded by Robertsville, and another foul. That'll be the 17th foul, and that'll send Robertsville to the free throw line with a minute 30 to play in the second quarter. Robertsville trails 28-15.
Yeah, David, one thing to keep in mind here for Bellevue is Robertsville's only really committed 3 fouls, I believe. Jacoby Blavelt and then Javian Elam. But Bellevue, on the other hand, has several with 2 or at least 1. So it should be interesting interesting to see if foul trouble becomes an issue later in the second half or in this quarter.
It'll be Brandon Hayward at the free throw line for Robertsville. One in the bonus. Looks at the shot. First one's up there. Good. Brandon has an older brother who was the primary kick returner for the Wildcats this season.
Yeah, and he did a great job, very elusive. Brandon a little bit different, a little bit taller, a little bit more power behind him at this point.
Second free throw, good. 11-point game, 28-17 the score. Robertsville needs some more stops here. Down the floor with the basketball, a minute 25 and counting. They'll dribble in, they'll drive, they'll shoot, they miss it. Hayward on the rebound. So a couple, well, actually they did go in. I turned away from it. I should look better as the ball goes off the head of one of the Bellevue players out of bounds. It'll be Robertsville basketball. 30-17 the score. We are streaming. It looks like our streaming is working much better here in the boys game.
Yeah, whoever fixed that's a genius.
Yeah, I switched it out using my abilities as Thomas goes in and drops one in. Good. Robertsville scores. Once again, that's Jaquez Thomas. That's his first 2 points. 30-19 the score. A minute to play here in the second quarter. Bellevue with the basketball. Harassing defense by Robertsville. Dribbling out the midcourt line. Wow. Good defense by Robertsville, but he still gets a shot off. It's not a good one. They miss it. Rebound. Hayward's got to fight for it. He's got to get it. Got to grab it. They work the ball. Here's Robertsville with it. Robertsville coming down the floor. Can cut the lead even further, but they lose the ball out of bounds. Dribbling a little bit too quickly was Jaquan Watson. Just couldn't maintain possession.
Yeah, David, and what really set that transition up right there was Raekwon really playing tenacious defense as he is right now.
With the basketball once again will come number 2. That'll be Muhammad. Holds the ball and gives it out high to Terrence. He holds the ball at the midcourt circle. Swings the ball to the left side. Breakdown. Oh, Hayward with a big swat out of bounds. Took out one of their cheerleaders, one of our cheerleaders, as the ball was just swatted away by Hayward.
But he's really got ups, you can tell, because he's given up at least 3 or 4 inches to that guy, and that guy just put up a lazy softball, and Hayward was able to put it into the wall.
Great hustle that time by Robertsville. Almost got a steal was Price Davis. It'll be Bellevue ball. They lead Robertsville by 11. 30-19, 22.5 seconds to play here in the first half. 3-point bomb, good. They got some players on this team. Knocked in that time by Payne. And down the floor at a 14-point game will come Robertsville. Hayward stops, pops, missed the layup, gets his own rebound. Good. Hayward drops it in. Got to play defense for 4 seconds. They throw the ball away. 2.2 seconds. It'll be Robertsville ball, trailing 33-21. But they have the full length of the floor. And I'm surprised Bellevue is not defending him in the rear court. Robertsville will be allowed to roll the ball in and get a much better shot. Now, here they come. I thought that was not the wisest as they go for the home run pass. No, they're just going to work it in with 2, with 1. And he doesn't get a chance to get the shot off before the first half comes to a close. So, right now the score is not to our liking at 33-21 with Robertsville trailing. But towards the end, I thought Robertsville showed some signs shooting the ball. They got a little bit more under control, I thought. But they still trail 33-21.
Yeah, one of the things that Robertsville was able to do was to step up defensively, only allowing 12 points in that second quarter, whereas they scored 13 points. So they were able to close the gap a little bit and create some, close that space in between the two teams.
33-21 our score, halftime here at Blackman Middle School. And we're going to take a break here about 9 minutes before we start the second half. Streaming live on YouTube at Prep Radio. We're also on prepradio.com on the internet for the audio version, along with Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. 33-21 our score. We'll be back to Blackman Middle School in a moment. David Clary, James Branson back here at Blackman Middle School here on prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. We're also streaming on the internet on YouTube. Looks like 32 people watching right now. That's not so bad. We're also on Channel 15, so hopefully we'll have a great second half. James, I believe you have the scoring to this point in the ballgame.
Sure do, as Robertsville is led in scoring by Brandon Hayward. Brandon has 8 points so far in the game. Raekwon Watson coming in off the bench in that second quarter, hitting a big three-pointer. Brennan Scott able to hit a little bit of a runner there in the paint as he got 2 points early in the first quarter. And we also have Jaquez Thomas, Bryce Davis with 2 points in the game, and Javian Elam working down low against those monsters of Bellevue, and he has 4 points. For the Bellevue Bobcats, they are led in scoring with number 2, Damian Cox. He has 8 points as Sadat Muhammad comes off the bench. He has 7 points for Bellevue. Julius Thadford, he has 6 points for Bellevue. So they are very top-heavy with their guards and their ability to score. 4 points for Kavion Benton, and Kylan Payne has 6 points for the Bellevue Bobcats for a total score of 33-21 for the halftime score. The girls, Lady Rams, scored 50 points tonight and allowed 10 points defensively as they will advance to the state championship game, their first state championship game, and the second overall state championship game for the TMSAA. The Lady Wildcats were led in scoring tonight by Ayana Porter. Ayana had 15 points. She had the game-high points as well. Demetria Strickland came in with the second-high game point with 8, as well as Jenna Johnson scoring 7. Kate LaFoon hitting a big free throw from the line. Zayana Stewart having 7 points tonight, really getting most of hers driving into the lane. Lindsay Cleveland finishing with 2 points. Anaya Porter coming in with a big 6 points down low, and mainly in the second half. And Lauren Gross coming off the bench in the second half, hitting a big three-pointer for the Lady Rams. Eventual winners over Lawrence, and they will play West Junior High School out of Oakland, Tennessee for the championship tomorrow. That will be at 5 o'clock Eastern time, coming from Stewart's Creek High School. The winner of our current game, Bellevue and the Rams, will play the championship game against Fairview. Fairview Middle School defeated Bolivar by a score of 37-32. So the winner of this game goes on to play Fairview. Fairview, obviously, as we saw, has a clear advantage fan-wise, and they were able to create an electric atmosphere.
Most definitely, very exciting ball game. I think we got a lot of good basketball ahead of us tonight in this boys game. Right now, Robertsville trails at 33-21. I don't think they can shoot the ball as well as they did. They shot the ball well from three-point range, and they just got a serious advantage in terms of size. I mean, Coach Mark Garrison, former head baseball coach at Oak Ridge, and I were talking a moment ago about just 2 of their guys out there that look like just grown men. I mean, they don't look like middle school kids. Our guys from Robertsville, they look like middle school kids. These guys, they look like maybe a freshman team or a sophomore team from Bellevue.
Yeah, and whatever they're feeding their guys, we need to feed our guys the same stuff. But one thing that you mentioned, I think Bellevue kind of slowed down a little bit there. They weren't able to score in the 20s. We held them to 12 points there in the second quarter. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Spratling and the Rams respond here in the third and fourth quarter. It's going to take a lot of perseverance. But one thing that I think they did is they got into their offense a little bit better, and they were able to obviously score more points.
33-21 the score. My voice is almost shot from the girls' game. The girls' game was so exciting. And the boys' game, I'm expecting it to be exciting in the second half. This Robertsville team, they didn't get this far by being not a great team. They've got a lot left in them. They just never really got really in the flow of things. Credit all in the world, it goes to Bellevue. But I think Coach Spratling, Coach Davidson have probably got them settled down and said, hey, we're fine. We're only down 33-21. That is not hard at all. And I have a feeling if they can just play a little bit more under control, work the ball around, don't be frazzled by that press. I mean, their trapping press is pretty good. Plus, they've got the size. I noticed one thing that I think they need to do. I haven't seen this team play, but 3 times now. Hayward needs to be the center of attention right here. I mean, they've got other weapons, but I think he's one guy that can take it in against those big guys. They have a tendency to just swipe. I think they can get some of those big guys in foul trouble, and I think if there's a guy to do it, it's Hayward down there, and he's got to take more shots. At the end of the first half, I thought he backed off an opportunity to shoot the ball to give a better look to one of his teammates, but there wasn't much time. He is right there. He needs to take that shot, and I think probably his teammates need to feed him a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And one of the things that has allowed Robertsville to close the gap is when they press. When Bellevue presses Robertsville is able to get some little streaks down the middle of the court and get open looks in transition, which has helped them close the gap. This game for me is very reminiscent, and I know most people listening will not have watched much Robertsville games, but Robertsville played Cleveland Middle School. Cleveland, very tall, very lengthy team, so it's not like the Rams have not seen lengthy teams and teams that have a lot of height. And Robertsville was able to come back and able to close the gap and make that a close game, about a 4 or 5 point game. And I think one of the things I told several of their players was that game is going to prepare you for down the line. That's a AAA team and a team with a lot of length. That's going to prepare you for where you want to go. And obviously you want to end with a championship, and there's a lot of length left in this tournament.
So what's the scenario here? I know the girls play at 5 o'clock Eastern time. What are the possible game times for the boys tomorrow?
So the boys will play at 5:30 either way. It's just the location that's depending. Either if they win and they come back in the win, they're going to play at Stewart's Creek High School. I'm sorry, not at 5:30, but at 6:30 Eastern time. If they end up losing, they will play at 6:30 Eastern time. It will just be at Stewart's Creek Middle School, which is right across the street. So same location, just right across the street.
Hopefully we'll be talking about 2 championship ball games at the end of our broadcast tonight. We're about to start the second half, 33-21 our score. We'll be back with the second half in a moment.
I could do what he's doing. Throw the balls. Could you do that? There we go.
Welcome back once again to Blackman Middle School, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The Robertsville Rams trailing 33-21. Second half just about underway, and we are underway. It'll be Bellevue ball. Start things. The ball knocked out of bounds by Brandon Hayward. I told you my voice was shot. I yelled so much in the girls' game. I've actually done a lot of basketball in the last few days, to be honest with you. As Bellevue will try to work the ball in, and it comes to number 0. Who are the 5 out on the floor for Robertsville?
The 5 on the floor for Robertsville are Price Davis, number 10, number 21, number 10, Brennan Scott, number 11, Javian Elam, number 13, Jaquez Thomas, and number 5, Brandon Hayward.
33-21 the score. A little bit slower pace here, but they launched a three. That's going to be no good. Rebounded by Robertsville for a moment. Taken on the floor by number 22. Kicks the ball back out once again. 5.5 minutes to play, third quarter. Bellevue on top, 33-21. Last night, we were down at East Hamilton High School. The Wildcats took on a team, and there's another missed shot, but Robertsville has got to get some rebounds here. They worked the ball outside. What I was going to say is there's a three-point shot made good, and then Bellevue calls a timeout. And I think he called a timeout, and this is what I was going to talk about. Last night, we were at East Hamilton High School, and the Hurricanes had a 10-point lead on Oak Ridge. They tried to pull the ball back out and just kind of pass, and they lost the lead because they lost what they did to get the lead in the first place. And I have an idea that is why he just called a timeout. I think he wants to get them to attack once again. They were very passive on that position. They ended up with a three-point shot, but they were very passive.
Yeah, and that was their third three-point attempt of that possession as well. They were able just to pass it around the outside. Their strength is their big guys inside. I don't think anybody in this tournament has the strength and the length that that Bellevue's inside guys do.
Here comes Hayward down the floor for Robertsville. It's a 15-point game. And it goes Javian, or Elam. He missed a shot. They've got the rebound. Once again, the Bellevue team is going to bring the ball down the floor. 36-21 the score. They're going to drive the baseline, kick it out once again. Here it goes out to Batchelor. Batchelor at the midcourt circle. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Third quarter, 36-21 Robertsville trails. With the basketball, here's a steal by the Rams momentarily, and then a foul called against Bellevue, I believe. Not pretty sure. Or did they call it on? It's going to go against the Bellevue team, and it will be Robertsville ball.
Yeah, it was a really nice job there by Brennan Scott to go after that ball and cause basically a foul and a turnover there to get the ball back.
They'll bring the ball across the line. Robertsville has Elam in the left corner. Stops, comes out to the top to Brennan Scott for three. They need it. No good. One and done. Down the floor will come Bellevue. They'll work the ball across the line. Moving left to right, driving in, inside the paint, throwing up a six-footer. It's up good. I'm telling you, these guys, they look like high school guys. They are really, really stout-looking young men.
Yeah, and they're able to get into the paint very easily there as they're able to get a layup as Brandon Hayward drives into the paint.
And the ball is knocked out of bounds by Bellevue. It is a 17-point game right now. 38-21 the score. 3:59 to play here in the third period. It'll be once again the Rams to work the ball in. Looking, bounce pass comes into Elam. Elam's going to drive in, stop at the top of the circle, give it out to Thomas. Thomas backs up in the midcourt circle. Jaquez works the ball to his left. Here goes JV and Elam. And here comes a dunk on the other end. It's going to be massive, too. One-handed, left-handed dunk, and it goes in. Kiki Stewart in the house here, James Branson.
Yeah, she seemed very impressed with that shot there, if you see that on our broadcast.
19-point game, and Rams turn the ball over once again. Down the floor with the basketball will come Thadford. So they work it to the left corner. Three-pointer, no good. Another rebound by Bellevue. Block shot, kicking the ball back out once again. Here it goes to the left side. 40-21 our score. 3 minutes, 14 seconds to play third quarter. Pretty good defense by Robertsville as they set up their defense once again. And Bellevue kind of pulls it back once again. 3:03 to play right now. Robertsville has got to get a lot of stops here. They've got to get some rebounds, and they got to find somebody to score, and they got to find somebody to stop this onslaught. And Coach Spratlin has called a timeout. 2:52 to play third quarter. Bellevue on top of Robertsville, 42-21. We'll be back to Blackman Middle School in a moment. David Clary, James Branson back here at Blackman Middle School. Not a great start in the third quarter for the Rams. Got to play a little bit more under control here. Try to do something. I mean, as I look at that group, and I know some of you are watching it on YouTube right now, that is one good-looking high school basketball team out there.
Yeah, I'd be impressed to play against that, and it bodes well that Robertsville's trying to stick with them here in the third quarter.
Once again, they're going to drive in. Robertsville's had some ball handling issues, and they turned the ball over almost. Saved on the floor by Robertsville, and then a blocking foul is going to be called against Benton. That is his third personal foul. Robertsville basketball underneath the goal, 42-21 the score, 2 minutes, 31 seconds to play. In it comes to Hayward. They give him a three. He's going to drive. Free throw line jumper is up. Good. Nice little shot by Robertsville's Brandon Hayward. And down the floor with the basketball will come Bellevue once again. Thomas staying on 23, but he still gets a shot off. Good. Got to slow those guys down. As Bachelor scores, 44-23 to score. 2:10 to play, third quarter, Robertsville basketball.
Shoot it. Oh, sorry. As Jacoby Blavelt has it, kicks it off to Raekwon Watson, drives in the lane, creates a turnover there.
And down the floor will come Bellevue once again. They'll work the ball across the line. 1:55 to play, third quarter, 44-23 to score. Bellevue bounce pass down on the left block, kick the ball out, and they throw the ball away. Robertsville has got to take advantage now of every single possession. In middle school ball games, you only have 6-minute quarters anyway, so you don't have a whole lot of time. So they've got to get stops somehow, and they've got to score some points here.
Yeah, and you got to force them to not just sit back and hold the ball. You got to force their hand, kind of come out and try to trap them or give them a little bit of pressure so that they have to try to force some shots up or take shots. And then you got to rebound.
Thomas with the basketball for Robertsville. Tries to attack, fires it out here. There was really nobody there, but fortunately his teammate was able to track it down. That's Price Davis. Price at the free throw line is going to drive in, throws up a shot. Good. Price Davis scores for Robertsville. It's 44-25. Down the floor will come Bellevue. Got to slow this guy down as he comes right down the middle of the floor. And I can see Coach Spratling not too happy about that as they just allowed too much middle penetration. He got the ball and came straight down the floor, took it right to the rim. He's bigger than everybody other than his own teammate, but they got to figure out a way to get in his way, draw some charges, because he's a little bit out of control. I think you can get some charges from him, but you got to get in front of him. And of course, it's easy for me to say because I'm up here. They're much smaller than this guy as he knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, David, you had 3 or 4 Rams right there in the middle of the lane, and you just got to see that, recognize that that's coming, and as you said, step up and take a charge and basically force the turnover to get the ball back because every possession is precious at this point.
Both tosses good, and Bellevue leads by 21, 46-25 as they bring back at the ball game. Thetford once again. The Rams have the basketball, facing some pressure in the rear court, trailing 46-25. 1:15 to play, third quarter. Another turnover. Robertsville, and then Bellevue's going to turn it over on the other end, so it'll be Robertsville ball. Robertsville is in a hurry because they can see the scoreboard, and because of that, they've turned the ball over.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing to be in a hurry, but you got to be under control and play within yourself while trying to just speed up just a little bit. Play enough and execute just enough so you can score.
Here's a foul called against Bellevue. That'll be their third team foul. It's going to go against Muhammad. It'll be Robertsville basketball side court. 1:04 to play, third quarter. 46-25 the score. Robertsville will work the ball in. Price Davis works it in, and it comes to Jaquan Watson. Jaquan Watson across the midcourt line, drives to the hole, takes it in for the shot, no good, gets his own rebound, needs to kick the ball back out, he does to Hayward. Hayward double team, bullet pass, and a bucket by Jaquan Watson, and it's 46-27, and then Bellevue turns the ball over. It'll be Robertsville basketball with 44.9 seconds to play in the third quarter. 46-27 Bellevue.
Nice job there on that previous play by Brandon Hayward. Recognized that he had Raekwon wide open and able to get the ball to him for an easy little put in.
Here comes Hayward with the basketball, blows past his man, takes it to the hole, didn't finish. Rebound by Bellevue. It's a really nice move to get to the rim, but he's got to finish that.
Yeah, just couldn't make up his mind. It seemed like if he didn't want to go right or left, as Bellevue has a basket right underneath. Nice defense there by Raekwon Watson.
They get the rebound, then a block shot, and a foul called against Robertsville. 23.3 seconds to play, third quarter, 46-27 the score, and Bellevue will go to the free throw line. Looks like Devin Rutherford will go to the free throw line. It's been a while since I've seen Stanton Stevens, and he's in the house here at Blackman Middle School. And wearing all blue, I guess that's Laverne's colors?
It is Laverne's colors, and I was just thinking back to the last time. I think I saw him at a coaching conference in Atlanta, and so that may be the last time that I've seen him. So it's really nice to see him, and glad he came out to support his local community.
Robertsville had a lane violation. It didn't matter, but they still knocked down the shot. It's back to a 20-point game. Down the floor will come the Rams. Driving with it will come Thomas. Here's a shot, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Bellevue. 13 seconds to play. They will play for the final shot, I'm sure. They drive the baseline. They work it inside. They get the shot off. It is no good. Hayward on the rebound with 5, with 3. He works the ball down the floor. A great save, but he can't save it on the baseline. Very athletic grab by a young man who's not the biggest guy in the world, Raekwon Watson. He just snagged that with one hand. Unfortunately, the pass was just a little bit too strong.
Yeah, I love Raekwon Watson. He doesn't necessarily look the part of an athlete, but, man, he is so shifty. He can get into the lane. He can actually shoot pretty well and maneuver his body around as we end the third quarter here, 47-27, Rams trail.
We are on prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. We're streaming on the internet at Prep Radio as well. 45 people watching us right now. 47-27 the score. We'll be back with a fourth and final quarter in a moment. Welcome back once again to Blackman Middle School here. And Robertsville trails it 47-27. Hayward's going to drive in, kick the ball left side. A blocking foul is going to be called against Bellevue. Let's see, that'll be the third team foul called, and that'll be the third foul called against Batchelor. It'll be Robertsville basketball underneath the goal. 20-point game, 47-27 is our score. It'll be Robertsville to work it in. Not a good pass. It's saved out by Elam. Elam free throw line jumper. Good. Little right-handed shot, and it drops in. It's an 18-point game. Down the floor will come Muhammad. He sets the ball, dribbles in, take a charge. Here's a shot, no good. On the rebound will come Hayward. Hayward of Robertsville fires it down the plate. Not a good decision at all. Tried to go the full length of the floor, threw it away easily by Bellevue. That's an example right there of just trying to do too much with you. Like you said in the first game, you can't score an 18-point play on one shot.
Yeah, and you just got to play within yourself. You know, it's okay to probably throw that up to half court, just past half court, but he tried to throw that basically diagonally one corner to the other.
Travel's going to be called against Bellevue. So that's an opportunity with 5:14 to play. 47-29, 18-point game. It's possible. It's very much possible, but they've got to start scoring. They can't take much time. I'm not saying they have to shoot threes all the time, but this guy's got to make some plays right here. As he makes a spinning move, they're going to call a foul on the floor before the shot. Hayward knocked it down, but it's not going to count. And they'll go to the free throw line with, actually, it was not the act of shooting, obviously. If it would have been, they would have counted the bucket. It'll be Robertsville basketball underneath the goal. 5:10 to play. The ball is worked in, and it's intercepted. Taken away by Bellevue. 5 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the ball game. 47-29 the score. Number 5 drives in. Blocked shot by Elam. Elam's got some length. I think he's going to be a good player as he shakes and bakes across the time stripe. Works it over to Brennan Scott. Brennan Scott kicks it out. Three-pointer. They need it. It's no good. Rebounded jump ball, the alternate possession arrow to the Bellevue team. Coach Sproulin's still trying to coach up his team here, but right now he finds his Rams down 47-29.
Yeah, there's not any quit in this team, and it's good to see that they haven't given up yet. There's still time on the clock, so just got to play within yourself and gradually get some turnovers here.
One thing I want to say, and I know it helps to have the Lady Rams here, but I tell you, the crowd support from the Robertsville fans has been outstanding.
It has, and it's awesome to see them come all the way up here, 2.5 hours away to support a middle school team. Is pretty awesome.
Here's a shot up, no good, but a foul's going to be called. It's back to a 20-point game now. 49-29 the score. Robertsville trailing, 4:27 to play in the ball game here at Blackman Middle School. To the free throw line for Robertsville will go Raekwon Watson, 7th grader. He'll go to the free throw line twice, the first of which is no good.
As I was going to say, it's really cool that we've also got 48 people currently listening to us or watching and streaming the game on YouTube. So we really appreciate that support as well.
Both free throws missed. Bellevue has the rebound. 49-29 the score. Down the floor once again will come Bellevue. They'll set it out. Here it goes to Thurman in the ball game. I think that's Thurman. I'm trying to read your handwriting there as they work it out once again. 49-29 the score. The team that Robertsville is going to play tomorrow is almost as imposing as this team. You talk about some really good-looking middle school teams in this tournament.
Yeah, David, as you're referring to Bolivar Middle School had several big guys. I don't think that's nearly as big as some of the guys that Bellevue has, 23 and 22, fairly imposing. I believe Bolivar may be a little bit better of a matchup because of how they like to play and how we like to play.
Down to 3:55 and counting, 49-29. Robertsville trailing by 20. That's the kind of the cool thing about this. There is a consolation game. You obviously want to win a championship, as here's a steal for a moment by Scott, but the ball is knocked out of bounds. You want to win a championship, obviously, but you get a chance to play at least 2 ball games, and they'll be, unless they can come back 20 points in the next 3:41, they'll have another opportunity to play and show what Robertsville basketball is all about.
Yeah, and I think you made a great point. You don't get to this stage if you're not a good team. You make top 4 in the state. Yeah, obviously you may not win it. Only one team can win it. But to get here and to be able to show play as well as you can, that's an accomplishment in and of itself.
Bellevue taking a little time off the clock right now. 49-29 the score. Nearly a foul, and it was a foul against Brennan Scott. It'll be for him. It'll be the 4th team foul called against Robertsville. For him, I believe that'll be his 3rd personal foul. It'll be Bellevue basketball side court. Kasim Davidson is the assistant coach of the Robertsville Rams. He's a former Wildcat player. John Spratling played for Steve Shipley back in the day. Back in the day, back in the 80s. John Spratling, a pretty good ball player, football and basketball. It's always good to see him patrolling the sidelines here. 3:11 to go, down 20. Bellevue gets shot up, no good. You might think that here in a moment he's going to kind of empty that bench maybe and get some of those other guys in because 3:07 to play, but you never know. I guess he's a competitive guy, like you said. As long as there's time on the clock, I assume he feels that they can win the ball game. Right now, it's looking a little bleak for the red and white.
Yeah, David, as it's always pretty cool if you can get some younger guys in. Anytime you get some tournament experience, something like this, it's always key going forward. Not that you're looking too far into next season because obviously you still have a game left, but to get them experience and for these 8th graders to get this experience, it even prepares them for high school.
For sure. 50-29 is our score. The Rams currently trailing, 3:07 to play in the ball game. We have been on prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow the Oak Ridge Wildcats and Lady Wildcats will be at home in senior night against the Fulton Falcons. Always a big crowd game at the Wildcat Arena. We will be on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, along with Lucas Forkas Trostrom as Bellevue gets the shot up good. After a miss on the other end for 3, 2:45 to play. Cox knocks down the shot. Here's Thomas down the floor to Elam. Elam on the baseline, double teamed and trapped. Gives it over to Hayward. Hayward drives in, left extension to the free throw line, shoots, no good. Rebound to Bellevue. 2.5 minutes to play. Just working time down now, 53-29. Well, like you said, and what I've said as well, you get to this point, you're a good basketball team. Robertsville's boys are not going to win a state championship, but they have made the Final Four in the state, and that's a great accomplishment, and they get a chance to play tomorrow as Hayward comes down the floor, misses his shot, and we might have another dunk on the other end. Here he goes inside. That guy's not going to dunk. Shot is off the glass. It is good by Cox, and it's 55-29 with 2 minutes to play.
As it looks like it's Bellevue's emptying its bench here, kind of showing a little bit of respect for the Rams and getting some of their young guys some playing time. As I say young guys, and several of the guys they came in are very imposing as well. As you got number 32 and number 10 in there for Bellevue.
I'm telling you, these guys, they don't look like, they look like they could play for any high school that the Wildcats play.
10th graders, possibly 9th or 10th graders. And
right. I mean, they're big, they're tall, they're athletic, and look at that group right there. I mean, that looks like a high school team right there. I mean, it seriously does.
Yeah, we have one Brandon Hayward. It looks like they have 4.
As the Rams set it up here, a minute 54 to play, 55-29 the score. Elam with it, works the ball into Hayward. Hayward goes in for the shot, good. Hayward drops it in, and it's 55-31. Down the floor with the basketball. Some of the biggest supporters in the gym right now are the Lady Rams, who will be in their state championship ball game tomorrow. So what is the score? What is the schedule once again, so the fans who are watching and listening will know?
So it looks like the Lady Rams will take on, I believe it was West Junior High School at 5 o'clock Eastern Time at Stewart's Creek High School. And the Rams will be taking on Bolivar at 6:30 Eastern Time at Stewart's Creek Middle School.
Which means we have a major conflict there. Obviously, we will follow the Lady Rams as a three-point shot is up because they are going for the state championship. It has absolutely nothing against the Robertsville team, but if you've got a team going for a state championship, we will be covering the Lady Rams, and it overlaps with the boys' game, so it's really going to be impossible to do both.
Yeah, and it may be something where if we get to the boys' game, maybe we can tweet out some scores or things like that. I don't know exactly setup wise if it will be possible, but obviously if you are in town or able to come out and support the Lady Rams, or come out and support the Rams after that.
We're down to 42 seconds to play in the ball game. Here comes Bellevue down the floor. They're still attacking. Here's a shot, no good. They get the rebound up, no good. And again, third try, and it's good. They score with Xavier Nichols, and with 27 seconds to play, it's 61-31. So it is a 30-point lead. Three-point shot missed. Rebounded by Elam. Elam with the basketball. Bounce pass out to the top to Thomas. Thomas pulls up, shoots a three, no good. Rebound again by Robertsville. Pulled down again, and they get a shot up.
Bryce Davis, good.
And that's the end of the ball game. Bellevue defeats Robertsville by a final score of 61-33. That is your final score here from Blackman Middle School. So Bellevue will move on to play for the state championship tomorrow. Congratulations goes out to them. And a really good basketball team. Robertsville has nothing to be ashamed of. The score is what it is. That was one good basketball team. They played as hard as they could for 4 quarters of basketball, just didn't have enough firepower.
No, David, they didn't. But, you still have something to play for. It's another game, but you're still playing for third place. You can still play for third place in this tournament. Again, top 4 team in the state as a middle school, there's nothing to complain about there. If you're a top 3 team, you just be like, hey, we didn't get to play the other team. We obviously played Bellevue and lost, but you can still play and be a top 3 team in the state, which is pretty good accomplishment as a middle school in Tennessee.
We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, James Branson will run down the scoring and final scoring in the ball game. As Robertsville is defeated, they'll be in the consolation game, but the Lady Rams won. They're in the championship game. We'll have the scoring of both games, and maybe Coach John Sprouting will come up to talk to us as well. We're at Blackman Middle School, streaming live on YouTube and at Prep Radio. We're also on prepradio.com with our audio radio broadcast and on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. We'll be back, hopefully with Coach Spratling and the stats in a moment. We are sitting in the bleachers here at Blackman Middle School, and I see Coach Sprouting and his group heading out towards the dressing room there. James, you got the scoring, the final scoring. Robertsville defeated here by Bellevue. You've got the final scoring, James Branson.
The scoring in the game today, Bellevue ended the first quarter with 21 points. Robertsville ended the first quarter with 8. At halftime, the score was 33-21. At the end of the third quarter, it was 47-27, and at the final score was 61-33. Scoring for the Rams today was Raekwon Watson. He had 5 points. Brandon Hayward led the Rams with 12 points. Brennan Scott had 2 points. Javian Elam had 6 points. Jaquez Thomas had 2 points. And Price Davis had 6 points. The scoring for the Bellevue Bobcats, Julius Thadford had 6 points. Sadat Muhammad had 10 points. Damian Scott had 15 points. Josiah Curry had 2 points. Kavion Bennett had 8 points. Devin Rutherford hit a free throw for 1 point. Kylan Payne had 8 points. Jalen Batchelor had 8 points. And Xavier Nichols had 2 points for a total of 61 for Bellevue, 33 for the Rams. Bellevue will move on to play Fairview Middle School. Fairview, southeast of Nashville. They won their game 37-32 over Bolivar Middle School. So that means the Rams will play Bolivar Middle School tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern Time at Stewart's Creek Middle School. So if you are able to come out, I'm sure that the Rams would greatly appreciate your support. Prior to that, though, will be the state championship game that the Lady Rams will be playing in. The Lady Rams won their game tonight by a score of 50-10 over the Lawrence Middle School. The scoring in that game in the first quarter, the Lady Rams were up 16-1. Second quarter, 31-7. Third quarter, 44-10, and then the final score was 50-10. Leading scoring for the Lady Rams tonight was Ayana Porter. Ayana had 15 points in the game. Demetria Strickland had 8 points in the game. She was the second leading scorer, followed by Zayana Stewart with 7. Jenna Johnson with 6 points. Also with 6 points, Anaya Porter. Lauren Gross had 3 points. Lindsay Cleveland had 2 points, and Kate LaFoon had 1 point. The Lady Rams will play West Junior High School out of Oakland, Tennessee. Not Oakland, Murfreesboro, but Oakland, Tennessee, down near Bartlett, I believe, as they will play at Stewart's Creek High School 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. So once again, the Lady Rams will play at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, Stewart's Creek High School. After that game, you can walk straight across the street to Stewart's Creek Middle School to see the Rams play Bolivar at 6:30 Eastern Time.
I also want to remind everybody we have another conflict too, of course, going on at the Wildcat Arena. The Wildcats and Lady Wildcats will be taking on the Fulton Falcons. Final regular season ball game for the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats. So it's always a packed house at the Wildcat Arena. Of course, a lot of the fans will be here up watching the Lady Rams and the Robertsville Rams. They'll be, but they'll still be full. That game will go on the radio on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. You can listen to the call of the Oak Ridge Fulton game tomorrow. We will have the call here from Murfreesboro of the Lady Rams state championship ball game. And like we've said, James, and I feel bad, but you can't be in two places at the same time. There is an overlapping of the girls and the boys games, we think. I mean, I think it's going to happen. And so our setup here is so complicated anyway. By the time we get over to the other school and try to set up, most of that game will be over. I mean, it's an hour setup anyway for us to get ready, so we apologize, but I think most fans will understand, James. I mean, one team's going for a state championship in the Lady Rams. We would love. I wish there was two of us. I honestly wish they had done it at the same location. Play like the other two tournaments do. You play the girls consolation first, and the boys consolation, and then the girls championship and the boys championship back to back to back, and then we wouldn't have had a problem. But they've split it up to different sites, and I guess that's to keep the workers from not having to do as many ball games. But we won't be able to do the boys game. I'm just going to say it flat out. We will broadcast, though, the Lady Rams.
Yeah, and I think there was a very similar situation several years ago. We talked about on the way up here where we were down in Florida for a Christmas tournament. It just so happened the boys and girls were in the same gym, but that we basically had to put one game on and then tape one and put it on later once we got back. But I think one of the key things here for both the Rams and the Lady Rams is this type of tournament experience. Previous to this, basically you were a sectional champion, meaning you were one of 4 teams that won your section, and then it stopped after that. So 2 years ago, they decided to do a state championship. So anytime you can get this type of atmosphere at this level, that helps build as you go on to become a Wildcat for us, or a Lady Wildcat, and kind of see that tournament experience and how that tournament experience, as we know in the future, can help, create championships.
What I have enjoyed about watching Robertsville play the last week or so, and what I'm enjoying right now, is I look out on this floor, I see some of the greatest athletes that have ever played at Oak Ridge High School. And I've been around a long time. I've seen a whole lot of them, and a lot of them are in this gym right now. I mean, it's incredible. But not as I'm talking about that. Today, James and I went to lunch, and just so happens we saw 2 of the 3 or 4 greatest running backs in the history of Oak Ridge High School football. At Billy's Timeout Deli, we saw Spencer Goldmeyer and Sean Summers together.
Who would have thought? I mean, it seems like anytime that we have talked about somebody recently, it seems like that they've kind of popped up. So we were talking to Spencer and able to run into him, and as we were walking out, Sean Summers walks in the door. And so it was really unique how that was able to occur, and really special. But I think David mentioned, we've seen people here like Jackie Porter. We've seen Adrian Porter with his daughter Ayana Porter. So it's really cool to see this. And you also have Demetrius Strickland, who played in the early 2000s, and his daughter Demetrius Strickland. We saw Lady Stewart, we saw Kiki Stewart, now you have Zayana Stewart. So it's we were trying to discuss what this was, and right now it just seems more of I guess the best thing we can term is like a legacy crew.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's, like I said, and I'm seeing some others in here that it looks like a who's who of Oak Ridge sports in this gym here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We're still waiting for John Sprouling, the head coach. We still have a few people watching us on YouTube right now, and the Bellevue people, they all want to watch it. They're all writing down, and I think we gave them a fair call, so I'll be perfectly fine with that. Final scores of the ball games. We're going to take one more break here. I know they're going to eventually run us out of this gym here at Blackman Middle School here. And you and I haven't eaten. I'm looking forward to, actually, we've been here a long time.
Yeah, we actually talked about buffet, so I'm looking forward to that, which I don't know the last time I had one of those. I was probably with you at Shoney's.
Well, let's take one more break here. We're going to just hold with us if you're watching us or listening to us on Prep Radio or Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15 or streaming live on YouTube at Prep Radio. We will have the Lady Rams game. Let's just talk about that. I mean, the Lady Rams game. They play with such energy, and they came out so strong. They're a young team, and they're going to get a chance to play for a state championship. Not that they aren't great offensive players, but it's their defense that's carried them to this point.
Yeah, and I think that you said one thing that you overheard. I can't remember if it was at Anderson County last Saturday at the semifinals of the sectional or if it was at Norris, but you overheard somebody say, man, they play like guys. And not that that's a knock on the Lady Rams. I think it's actually, like you said, a compliment of how tenacious, how much they get after the ball and how disruptive they are, which creates offense for them and easy buckets.
Well, how long do we wait for John to come out here, James? I know they're going to run us out of the gym here, and I know our count's down to 15 people watching on TV right now. So, but we do want to talk to John Sprouling since we won't be able to call their game tomorrow.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of our players come out just yet, so I'm not sure where Coach Spratling is. But, what an accomplishment for his team just to get here and just to be able to kind of get outside of East Tennessee, get to experience some play from Middle Tennessee or even West Tennessee, and kind of see what you can expect at the next level.
So I'm gonna put the mic down just for a few short moments, and hopefully John will be out here and we'll talk to him about his Robertsville team. My name is David Clary, along with James Branson. We are streaming live on YouTube, and we got a great signal now because everybody's out of the gym. The bandwidth is perfect here, and we'll be back with Coach Sprouling hopefully in, if not 5 minutes, we'll close it out. We apologize. They are turning the lights out on us. So for those of you who have hung on to listen to Coach John Sprouling, we apologize for that, but they indeed want us to leave the gymnasium here. So thank you very much for tuning us in today on prepradio.com or on YouTube streaming live. But that about does it. James, your final comments.
Just a great game earlier for the Lady Rams that they get to go on to compete for a state championship, their first state championship they're competing for as a basketball team. A nice job by the Rams to come in here and give a good showing and hopefully to play for something, play for third place tomorrow, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
And that about does it here. We're going to close it out here from Blackman Middle. So long, everybody.